Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about signing mobile config files. Before we can get started, we need a couple things. First, we need a mobile config file that we can sign. And two, we need Xcode and a developer account. Now I know technically that's three, but let's go ahead and get started with Xcode. I've already downloaded it. I'm just going to go ahead and launch it. You'll see here that I've already signed in settings. So if you go to Xcode and then go to settings, I've added an Apple ID. I added that Apple ID by clicking on the plus button under accounts and pressing Apple ID. Now this Apple ID happens to be associated with my Apple developer account. And once you have a Apple ID signed up with your developer account, what you can do is you can manage certificates. Now I don't have any certificates. All of my certificates have expired. I don't do a lot of development. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create some new certificates here. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a private and public key pair in the cloud and in my keychain on this Mac. I'm just going to go ahead and get all new certificates. And we've got different certificates here. So we've got a development certificate. This allows me to code sign my development code. Distribution certificate. So this allows me to code sign packages or things that I'm going to distribute. Installer distribution, that's specifically for packages. So we've got all of those certificates here. And at this point, I no longer need Xcode because what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be working in Apple Configurator. If you have Apple Configurator, go ahead and open it. If you haven't yet downloaded Apple Configurator, you can do so by going to the Apple App Store and just doing a search for Apple Configurator. And we want Apple Configurator 2. And you just want to go ahead and download Apple Configurator on your computer. I've already got Apple Configurator and I've already got a mobile config file from my previous video here where I created a configuration file to manage the password settings for Google Chrome. Now Apple Configurator will help you create mobile configuration files for MDM deployment for a number of different things, but it can't be everything to all things that is within the realm of mobile config. So when I open up this mobile config file, it's not going to show me the ability to edit the file in Apple Configurator in the GUI interface because I have elements within this mobile config file that are specific to Chrome settings. And Chrome settings are not something that's built into Apple Configurator by default, but I can still view the mobile configuration file and I can still sign it with my certificate. Now, when you generate the certificates, it generates them inside of the keychain. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Keychain Access to show you what I mean. So if I go to Keychain Access and I do a search for Apple Developer, you should be able to see all the Apple Developer certificates that were just generated from Xcode and when they expire. So these certificates were installed on my computer when I generated them using Xcode. And they were allowed to be generated through Xcode because I have a valid Apple developer account. All right, so now I have Apple Configurator open. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up a profile. So I'm going to go to Open. I'm going to browse to the profile that I created in my last video. And I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And from within the menu system now, I should be able to sign this profile. And when I sign this profile, it's going to give me a bunch of options based on the certificate that I have available. I want to distribute this and I want this to be signed by my company and not by me personally. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the distribution, Bree Labs, and I'm going to press sign. It's going to ask me for my computer password, which I'm going to type in. I'm going to just choose configuration has been signed and it can no longer be edited. So I can't add anything to this profile anymore. So if I go ahead and let's take a look at what that did to the configuration profile. So if I open this profile, we can see here that there's some strange text at the top and also some strange text in the bottom. And what this is saying is that this is signed by the certificate. So this code was added to the file. Now we can always take a signed certificate and we can unsign if we want to edit it again. So we can always go to File, Unsign. And when you unsign a profile, it takes those components out of the file. So now we can see here that those components are no longer in the file and I can edit this file. But if I want to distribute this file, some MDMs require me to upload a signed configuration file. Simple MDM is a good example of this. Mosul is another good example where it recommends that you upload a signed configuration profile. Now, again, this is only necessary for distributing custom mobile config files. So if you're creating mobile config files using Apple Configurator or other tools to deploy using an MDM, it's best practice to always sign them before you deploy them. All right, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hey everybody, so if you love this video and you want to see more great content like it, please check out my LinkedIn page, connect with me, follow me over there. Also, please hit that bell button and subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.